think I need me a moment. Nowadays they gon' hate, but they can't hate on emotion. They be like, hey yo, Con, how you be staying focused? Cause I ain't got time to waste, I need me a magnum opus. I think I did it again. Wait. Only got one hit, then I'll do it again. I don't care about making no friends. Told me take 5, but I think they tripping. No, I'ma take it at 10.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the time may be. What's going on, everybody? I am your host, Warren Sox.
And I am your co-host, DJ Blood Money.
And welcome back to the Just Say It podcast. As you can see, we're here in the new location. It's not our location. We actually got some help, some assistance with, I guess, being in a new podcast room.
We go to the guy. No.
We want to introduce actually our first guest that's not family related, because the only guest we had was family
related. Yeah, just different family members interviews. We want to introduce somebody very special. Chris, should I say his last name?
Wilson, Chris Wilson.
Chris
That's
Wilson.
Fine, man. Yeah.
Chris Wilson
Whatever.
in the building. W's in the chat. I want y'all to know who this guy is. Chris is a very, very important person to some of you guys out there. You're going to want to know who he is and why he is where he is right now. Chris, if you could give us, well, you already gave us your name. Could you let the people, well, I'm going to let the people know what you do. Chris Wilson owns a cannabis store.
Let's give a hand clap for that.
Right, baby.
He owns a weed dispensary. This is the owner of Frosted Nug. And is this considered Pennsgrove or Carneys Point?
Carneys Point, but for mailing address, it comes up Pennsgrove. It's kind of crazy, but.
Okay. So Carneys Point, Pennsgrove, New Jersey. Chris, I want to thank you for lending a hand and helping us out with the podcast a lot.
Right.
We already came late. Chris could have punched us in the face, said, y'all wasting my time. I need y'all to go down the street, bust a left, bust a right, bust a left, and get out of my face. But he was awesome. Chris is dope. He let us be here and keep going with the podcast. So the name of your business is the Frosted Nug. Where did you come up with the name?
So actually, my consultant came up with the name. We have another location in Red Bank, and we're separate owners. We don't have any financial interests with each other. So it's kind of out of the norm to have two dispensaries that don't have the same ownership, but have the same name. So it gives you a lot of advantages in this industry as far as, now you have two stores under the same branding. So a vendor is looking at us as two stores, even though I should be one store and the Red Bank should be one store. So, when we're purchasing products from vendors, we get a better deal. Our computer software and everything that we use is exactly the same. So now when we bring a new dispensary online, everybody's cost a month comes down. So there's so many savings and so many advantages we had. So my consultant is a good friend of the family, been in the legal weed industry for like 15 years. And we just came up with this cool concept. And, our goal is to have about 5 to 7 of Frosted Nugs in the state, whether it's,
big hand claps for that. Big hand claps for that.
It might be 5 or 6 separate owners, or if the laws change, which it looks like we might be able to have 3 dispensaries per owner.
Wow.
So we just got to play around the laws and see how it evolves. But that's kind of where it all came from.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
interesting.
I remember when they first made Jersey weed legal. And everybody was like, "Oh, we should sign up and make a dispensary. We should." And they were saying like the waiting list was long. Is that true?
Yeah, very long.
Whoa.
It took them. So in 2020, they voted for it. It passed everybody in the state, and then it took them a whole year to make up just the structure of putting in an application. So January of 2021, you can actually put an application in, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands. So just to get, so you can relate, is when you put your application in, you're given a number, and that number is where you are as far as putting it online. So our first application for our first cultivation was 2,153.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Now this dispensary right here, our application number was 12,941. Now for our manufacturing license, which I have in right now, it's like 22,300 and whatever. So that's how many applications have gone in. But there's a lot of different levels of applications as far as this person thinks about this is what I want to do. This person is serious because they took the next step and they have a location and they have all their paperwork. So when you go down that funnel of 22,000, it comes down at the bottom, and there's really probably less than 5% of those people actually make it to the finish line of getting approved, having the money and everything to get this kind of business, open. It's a very daunting task. I mean,
Right.
It really is.
Sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like a lot of work. Some people just give up, like, y'all got it.
And then to go through that mass of a number, and you know what I'm saying, here you are, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, I
one of
give
them
you your
people that
flowers,
like
man.
made it, you know what I mean?
Well, right now you have 277 dispensaries open. You have, I would say, just looking at the numbers, probably 90% plus of all the applications that go in is for a dispensary. So think about it. You have 20,000 people. You probably have 18,000 of them want to be a dispensary owner. And right now there's 277. And it might sound like a lot to people, but it's really not a lot. We need more. We need like 400 to 500 because how the laws are, they're like some kind pocketed in around the townships that said yes. So you might go to Mount Laurel and there might be like 6 or 7. And that's because that township said yes. And that township could say there's only 1 license, 2 license, or unlimited license. It's up to the township. So that's why you go to Atlantic City. I think they have in the law in Atlantic City 63 dispensaries they're allowed to have in a 12-block radius.
Whoa. That's
Okay,
crazy.
so that makes sense.
That's crazy.
Right, so they just hitting them out. They like McDonald's.
Right.
They're trying to have them like.
You have exactly. You have a lot of competition there. Here we are in Carneys Point. They only have 2 licenses. There's one on the other side of town and us, and that's it. So, you really have to go in areas, in my opinion. Either you're first to launch in those areas and you get your brand established and people know you, or you got to try to go to communities and try to help that township to go from a no to a yes.
Right.
And that takes time to do, and time's money, and so that's kind of where we're at in the scheme of things. It's a daunting task, and we're like a lot different because we're vertically integrated. I mean, this is a separate license in retail. We got a cultivation license and a manufacturing license. So we've had to go through this process 3 separate times. And it gets easier because you've been through it, but it doesn't mean it's any faster every time you do it.
Right. You just kind of know what's to be expected. Now it seems like I was going to ask about some of the biggest failures, but I'm going to skip that and say, what really motivates you to do something like this?
It's people who know me growing up are like, this is the last person I ever thought would be owning a cannabis business. I played sports. My parents never smoked a cigarette in their life. I was scared to death to try any drug whatsoever.
What?
Just back in the time, playing sports and my parents, I was always, a rule follower, and that's how I grew up. I follow the rules. I don't want to get in trouble, want to go to college. I don't want to jeopardize anything. So I had in my head that cannabis is bad. This is an illegal drug. Mm-hmm. Well, fast forward, now I end up in our family's farm in the vegetable industry, and I kind of see like 10 years ago where that's going. It's just a dying industry. It's so hard to compete. As good of a business person you are, it's next to impossible to compete globally with South America, what their labor rates are and everything. So we were open to transition our farm into something, not knowing what that really was quite yet. And then our consultant, I met him 10 years ago, my brother-in-law's 40th birthday party, and he proposed it to us. And then when it actually passed, we were open. We were really open. So we sat down. My partner had never done cannabis either. But we were business-minded, and I knew all we have to do is hire good people who know cannabis, and we run the operations, take in their collaborations, and try to figure out how everything works. So that's kind of where that all evolved to. I just see an opportunity, and a lot of people see opportunities, but then to execute an opportunity are 2 different things. You probably know a lot of people that talk, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right?
No,
But
right.
you guys are actually doing it. There's a lot of people say, I want to have a podcast, but how many people actually reach out, come
Man.
here? You guys came here, met me face to face, said this is what I wanted to do. And a lot of times people just need a break to get started.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do. But you've taken the step that a lot of people never take.
First of all, I want to touch on that. I want to commend you for even saying that, because it's just even like starting this business. How many times we done been around the block or with our friends, man, we need to start a business, get our money up and get up out the crazy place that we into, but we'll never take the initiative. And you don't know how many times a couple people hit me up, oh man, I want to start a podcast, help me do it and stuff. When we did this, didn't nobody give us the knowledge or the breakdown and stuff.
Nobody believed we was going to do it.
We just did it.
We just did it.
We really just did it. Took our equipment, the little bit of money, bought the equipment and just did it, and then learn little things step by step. And then it's a good thing to even have you here, because we want to have people like you on our podcast. Somebody that's just not, oh man, I want to be cool and be seen. No, we got actual business minded people that actually learn from you. You know what I mean? Take that knowledge and help us grow. So yeah, I completely understand. I wonder, did you guys ever reach the limit like for this area? Because I know you were
He
saying
said
like
2. It's only 2.
There's only 2. That's it.
So-
It's done.
Him.
So that's what I'm saying.
We're
You-
number 2.
Oh,
You
wow.
got the cannabis you got the cannabis spot up there by
Yeah, you got
Deepwater,
Twisted Hat right
Twisted
up
Hat.
there
Yeah.
by DuPont's in Deptford or Deepwater right there.
So
Dang.
yeah, that's crazy. You got in at a great time. It's only 2 of them, so. But he the big dog right now. I'm not
Right.
gonna let me
Nah,
not start.
I-
I'm not gonna start.
I don't know. I don't approach
kidding.
any like
I'm
I
just
never
kidding.
say I'm the big dog or
I'm just
anything.
messing.
Everybody here, as far as how we have this culture, is we're all one team. I want to know what your ideas are to make it better. Let's sit down and let's hash it out, and let's just implement stuff, right? But let's go through and hash it out. So when we implement it, we have a very good chance of succeeding, rather than just throw stuff against the wall, do it, and waste time, waste money.
Right. What are 3 biggest things you think will help somebody start a business?
Can't do it alone. I think you need to reach out like you guys did. You came in and you weren't scared to just say, hey, this is what I want to do. And I think what happens is when you have that kind of mentality, it's just a matter of time before you start to attract in your life the people you need to succeed. And as a younger individual, I always read books. I read all self-development books. My baseball coach, that's all he did with his players. Like, when I coached with them, the first hour of practice, you were listening to a cassette tape on self-development or reading a book before every practice. And people are like, what the heck is this coach doing? He's crazy. He's whack. But I tell you, you learn leadership. You learn all the characteristics you need to be successful. So then at some point, you'll hit some kind of tipping point where people want to be around you because you have something going on. You're doing it right. You have integrity. And they're like, how did you do it? And you start to attract those people. And I mean, once you guys understand that this is a podcast, but it's also a business, because there's a one thing to do a podcast, but there's another way to do it. So there's no money coming out of your pocket, and you have sponsors, and you're actually making this a business while you're growing your social media. People, you find out what your people are about, what kind of advertisers you want to go to. They want exposure. So there's a lot of different layers to a successful podcast other than just doing the podcast.
Right.
So yeah, one thing, if you're talking about 3 things, is you need to invest in yourself, mental, and really start building leadership abilities and putting yourself out there. Hard to do it alone. So that's number 1. You need to have a business plan. You need to sit down. You need to put in the time. It's easy to come and just do a podcast, but when you come and you're organized, then the podcast is efficient and everything on your business end. If you want to generate money, how do you want to do it? The more you spend organizing and doing the legwork, then the easier it is on the execution phase. A lot of people don't want to spend the time to do that because it's monotonous. And I think number 3, you really have to collaborate with people. Even if, just bounce ideas off people who are more successful than yourself. You got to start hanging around and talking to those people and not letting the other people drag you down. Because people who are more successful than you, it's, when I know for yourselves, like when you came, I'm like, man, look at these entrepreneur. I remember when I was getting started. You know, I'm flattered that you would even come to me. I mean, I'm a general person. I was a health and phys ed teacher, right? That's it. I mean, I was a teacher, and I just over the last 30 years, I've developed a lot of skills along the way that now with this opportunity, I'm able to execute it. 10 years ago, I couldn't execute this. I didn't have enough relationships built. Right. And that's how you have to have that mentality. So you have to have that collaborative mentality, always go up, never go down, problems go up, and just get advice and just be that sponge, soak it in. And then when you build that relationship, hey, I have an idea. What do you think? Because I'll have different experiences. And this is really a key when we were reading books. My baseball coach who I coached with and everything, and another gentleman who was actually a superintendent at another school, we would get a book and we would read a chapter. And we would go home and read a chapter. We would meet once a week and we would talk about that chapter, and we would tape it on just a video or a recording. Right. Because I was in my, let's say, 30s. The other two individuals were older in life. But when you read the first chapter, you got something different than I got out of it. And I was like, man, how did I miss that? But I'm only getting what's relative to me at my age and what my experience is. So when we started doing that and going through a book and we would make notes, I mean, it was just amazing what I got out of that book. And it's like some people read to read, other people read to retain. So we would talk about it, we would record it, I can listen to it anytime, and then we develop notes to it. So some people are visual learners, some people are auditory learners, and we did it week after week after week, book after book after book. Right. And that's how I developed a lot of the skills that I had. But I think those three are like the biggest things that I would put in. I mean, you guys are putting in the work. I don't think, you know. I mean that's safe to say. If you're going to do anything and you want like the results, you got to put work in.
Right. Period. Of course, 100%.
I was up till 4 a.m. trying to edit the other episode. Like, oh man, I can't go to sleep.
That's what entrepreneurs do, and that's what a lot of people don't see. Yeah. You know, they see you guys here, but they don't see the work you're doing at night, the hours you're spending, the hours you're not getting paid but putting it in. But rest assured that all adds up into your bank of success that other people don't see.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think a lot of people watch us and then they'll say, oh, that was easy, right? All they got is cameras they set up and they shot it and put it on YouTube or put it on TikTok or put it. Bro, there's so much more than that. There's so much more. There was different. Oh, we recorded the podcast. The mic was off.
I've done that.
You don't even realize. You don't even know that the mic was off half of the whole episode. So now I'm scrambling and trying to get back the audio here, or even as with like you said, sponsorships. Like we're trying to bring upcoming artists, reaching out to the clubs.
Yes.
Getting these artists in clubs. All the back work. Oh, I got to go to the club. I'm paying sometimes to get in these clubs, but I'm working with them. So it's like, you don't see that. You don't see, like I said, up at 4 a.m. Oh, I got to edit this, put this here, put this
What am I going to give them? Oh, do you have a business card? Oh, yeah. Okay. What's that going to look like? How's it going to do? It's going to have a QR code. It's going to take them to somewhere to see, oh, here's a sample of our podcast that you're looking at, right? So there's all steps that when you go to approach someone, what's it going to look like? How do I want to do it? What funnel am I going to put them through? Right. They have, and you guys are smart, you start bringing on people that have lists, 1,000 people are following them. Now you're cross promoting. Now you're building up your people pretty quick just by, doing your podcast and getting people on. The more you can do, it just starts building.
Right. I like what you said about collaboration too. I think a lot of people sleep on that it takes, how do they say it? Two heads are better than one. You know what I mean? From my perspective, it may look like this, but you find somebody else and they can capture a different perspective. I also liked how you said, that you guys read a book and you jotted down notes. That means you tried to analyze what you were reading. You didn't just look at it and just go, oh, okay, well, we read it. It is what it is. You tried to break it down. And that's what we wanted to do with this podcast. We really, even, you know, with the steps that we do know and we do take care of, we still want to learn more and observe, I guess, from other successful podcasts to try to incorporate with our podcast. And I'm assuming you wanted to do that with your business. You know what I mean? Let me learn all I can, you know, of course. And that's the one thing about it. People are like scared to fail. Not that it's been a failing situation, but like everything isn't going to go your way. Everything isn't going to be, oh, it was if it was easy, everybody would do it. You know what I mean? So that's why I truly want to commend you. Just, I mean, I haven't seen, you know, we're here now, but I haven't seen the hard work that you put to get this together. You know what I mean? So I know it probably took some time. It took some, you know, planning and like I said, analyzing and trying to put the pieces together and stuff like that. So that's what we want to do with doing this. We're trying to, okay, we just got a podcast now. Like, how can we make it an even bigger podcast or make it something that people will want to listen to? So
your first podcast is going to look totally different from your 100th podcast, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
you should see our first episode. Yeah. You should see the first episode. This sign was hanging up on the wall, fell down. Camera cut out in the middle of the podcast. That's what I mean. People don't notice this stuff, but this is, and we talking about it, the mics go out. We had little clip mics. It sounds like I'm standing over here or I'm back here in the wall. It don't sound like I'm directly in the mic. Oh, man, the first episode looked like a cheese, and then the video quality, cheese grater. It was terrible. Like, but we just started it. It was like, no, man, we just going to do it. We going to get through the hurdles. Like, whatever we fail at doing, we know not to do again. Right? Like,
you're failing forward. You're learning while you're failing.
Like, we're not going to stop just because, oh, this was a little hard. Like, no, there's going to be growing pains with anything. I don't care what I feel like personally. With anything you do in life, there's going to be growing pains. Riding a bike, you're going to fall, scrape your knee.
Yeah.
Just going to stop riding.
Well, you made a great point about failure. And really in life, I find everything's about your definition. And whatever your definition that's in your head kind of guides you on what your reactions are going to be. So there's some people that hear failure and their definition of failure is like it's something final. It's something like I wasn't a success. I failed. Whereas your successful business person understands failure is just the process. That's how you become really good. So the more times I fail, then I know I'm getting way closer to my goal. It might hurt sometimes, you know, it might be difficult, but that's just the way it is. You have to fail if you want to grow and succeed. And until you change your definition and you start to realize that, then it's just I'm failing. Okay, like you said, I learned from that. Now I don't make that mistake again. Bam, bam, bam. And then all of a sudden, it just starts to build for you.
And I'll tell you right now, all from perspective. Because if this is the definition of failing, shoot, I want to fail my damn self.
This is 30 years of failure to get to here. I had successes.
Success.
You go up, you go down. You go up a little more, but you're always just climbing. It's not just a straight line up. It's never like that.
There we go.
Right.
There we go.
Now, speaking of failures, what were some of the biggest failures in starting this business? Yeah, I would just say in starting this business.
I wouldn't say we really had failures in this business. It's just challenges, right? And that's a whole nother thing, right? There's nothing that we failed because we're here. You know, it's just a process that you go through. And it's like, okay, when a challenge is in front of you, it's how you're going to do it. What do I need to do, right? Just take the emotion out of it. And okay, the CRC came back and they didn't like how this was written, or you have to improve this right there. Okay, what do you want? Okay, how do you want it done? Okay, we do it and we put it in. I can't control the process. I can't control how fast or slow it goes, even though mentally it is draining. It takes a special person to be an entrepreneur. But once you get through that, it's just, you know, there really is no failure. I'm just going through processes. So, you know, if I want to talk about a failure, we got our first license for growing and we could only grow at 2,500 square foot of canopy. It was a limited license, but allows you to get your foot in the door. And we got the license and we couldn't find an investor. It was during COVID. And we found out very quickly that if you look at all the different layers of when people investing, they want to invest in a dispensary first because they know when it opens, they're making money right away. In a grow, it's the most expensive to get started. It's the longest to get a return. And it's the most risky because you can lose a whole room with someone that doesn't know what they're doing.
Right. One batch probably mess up everything.
Right. Once the laws changed and we were able to have a dispensary, then we got the money for the grow, because now we're vertically integrated. Now we're starting to diversify ourselves. And then within this business, this building, they're separate businesses. Like this podcast is its own business, its own LLC. Our wellness center on the other side is its own business, its own LLC. The coffee shop, same thing. We're all in the same building. So if they were standalone businesses, they'd have to have their own business, their own building, their own rent, their own utilities, but now they're all sharing in the cost. So it's a lot easier for everything to survive like that, because we know that the driving force in this building is the dispensary. So it's just a different way of doing things and a different plan of doing things, kind of out of the box maybe.
All right. I do have a question, but it kind of sounds like the same question he just asked. Is there anything that you would want to say or list to look out for as far as, the whole business process? But I feel like that's kind of the same thing he just asked, because he was like, watch out for whatever you asked. But, wait, my bad. What did you ask?
I just asked about the biggest failures and successes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was asking
what made you want to start.
Yeah,
it's a process, and at the end of the day, you need money, right? Okay. You need to have the funds. I mean,
How did you get not to cut you off?
No.
How does that come about? Is that like not loans?
You can't go to a bank because it's federally illegal.
That's where I was coming from.
So now it's really tough. Now you either have to have your own money or you have to bring in investor money. So if you bring in investor money, you've got to give up, some of your business to do that. And, and you're paying higher rates, obviously, than you would to go to a bank. And, that's difficult. They got to know you. They got to trust you. You have to have all the paper. I mean, just the paperwork to put together for when the investor comes in, we probably spent $20,000 on lawyers to draw all that up. Right. And it just takes money to get started. And what we did is we pushed all our chips in. So our farm business, we had about $100,000, in our account, and we really put that business in peril, because we put all the money in to get our first license, and then the other business was kind of working with a small little buffer, but one little ripple could really affect that business. And we were just fortunate that during that time, nothing happened. Business is still running. Doesn't have as much in its kitty as we want. We're slowly building that up. But that's what we had to do. Some people might have to pull equity out of their house if they're fortunate to do that, get some loans from maybe family members, and try to stay as lean as you can. They do have programs, if you're looking into getting cannabis, social equity programs for the small people to get started. But even at that, you need to have some kind of upfront money to pay for a lawyer and get stuff done, because the paperwork in this industry, it's daunting. It's just crazy what you have to produce.
That's the kicker. Okay.
Yeah, very difficult.
Crazy. That's crazy. What's your definition of fun?
What's my definition? You're asking me what my definition?
Both of y'all. What's your definition?
What's your definition of fun?
I had this question down to ask y'all, even though you asked it, because there was a situation where I was with a woman, and she wanted to hang out with me, and she says, we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And I realize now people have different definitions of fun. Your fun may not be my fun, meaning I might like to read, sit, be in the quiet, where you're with somebody. They want to be outside, seeing loud music, a whole bunch of ripping and running and stuff like that. So
ripping and running. You know how much ripping and running done took a lot of people out? Ripping and running.
So it's really a simple question, but I meant it like, what soothes you? What relaxes you? What do you find appealing out of life? Me, I'm starting to find appealing me smoking weed, playing my game, just having a little bit of peace and quiet and stuff. But it's other things that I like to do. Like, for example, I went to a Jamaican restaurant that was about 45 minutes away. And it's crazy because it's like, why would you drive 45 minutes to go get some food? well, I find that it's fun. It was peaceful. I didn't have to crank up the tunes and all that and, roll down the window and all this extra stuff with my friends. I like being with my friends, but yet again, it's all on what your definition of fun. But let me just get down to the meat and potatoes. I like smoking weed, looking up at the stars.
Brought to you by the Frosted Nug, where you can get the best cannabis, premium quality, crispy cannabis.
Stop going to the corner store, man, thinking that he giving you some good trees. You need to come down here to the Frosted Nug and get you something that's going to have you stargazing. Remember one time I had to hit the Nug and then I just lost. All right, I'm back.
Come down to the Frosted Nug.
Come down to the
They
Frosted
have
Nug.
edibles, disposables, and they also have gummies. I already said edibles. But they got everything you need. See how I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to be saying? Because we're down here at the Frosted Nug. Shout out to the Frosted Nug.
Good weed. But my straight answer is I like playing video games in the spare time. I really like a little bit of peace and quiet. I do music from time to time, so that kind of soothes me. So that would be my definition of fun.
Yeah, you need to have your outlets, right? You need to. I think when you're looking in life, the hardest thing to do is really find your passion on what you want to do in life, right? And there's no time frame. I was always, my parents always like, oh, once you're 18, got to go right to college, And it's like everything seems like so rushed. And now that I have kids that are going into college, like my first one went to college for a year. She didn't pass a class, went to Kentucky. And then last semester, going into her second semester, she didn't even go to a class for the first 20 days. Had a lot of anxiety and everything like that. But at the end of the day, she wasn't at college. It just wasn't for her. Right. She wants to be in the job. She'd rather work a job, and there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. But you have to figure out that passion. Sometimes it takes a while. I mean, I thought I wanted to be a phys ed teacher. I don't know. That's what I thought. I had fun doing it, but this is where I wanted to be. And you have to have those outlets, those passions, right. That fun. Got it. If you're only just doing this all the time, it's a grind, man.
Right. Yeah, for real. I feel like my definition of fun, I like playing sports. So my definition of fun would be either playing basketball, football. I like smoking weed. I do like smoking weed. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the Frosted Nug, where you can get the premium cannabis.
You're hired.
But I would say I like playing sports. I like working out. As much as people think working out is very straining, I feel like working out to me is a fun thing because I feel like I'm gonna leave one place better than I am before I'm going to leave better than I walked in. And I'm saying physically, mentally, emotionally, however you want to put it, because I feel like working out is going to push you to do something that you thought you couldn't do. If you thought you couldn't lift 125 pounds on a bench press and you do it, it's a different feeling when you've been trying to achieve that goal for, let's say, 1 day, 2 days, it's a different feeling. So I like those things. My definitions of fun are probably everybody you still working, you not, and I like, being around my daughter, I think, being a dad, like you were saying, I think watching her grow is a fun thing to do now. I like messing with her.
Yeah, after she started, it'd be funny. It'd be funny messing with her.
I mess with her a lot and stuff, but I think that's pretty fun. And then, but when she starts crying, it's nah, fun's over. Fun's over. Now I'm trying to chill.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm trying to think for fun for me. I love the water, so I invested a couple jet skis. I've always been on the water, so I just that's my relaxing place. And a point that you said I think is so critical is working out. My wife, we work out all the time. My wife works out for her mental reasons. If she doesn't work out, she's all wound up. First thing she does, she works out, gets her in a good place. And at the end of the day, your body, that's all you have, right? If you're not taking care of this, then everything else around you starts to fall apart.
Right. That's one thing, when we lived in Illinois, right? So when I first moved out here, I told myself, I'll never work a job where I have to bust my ass because I've worked out my entire life since I was probably 7 to 19.
Now, did your parents work out?
Not really.
So what got you into working out? Was there somebody that you were attached to, or it was just inside of you?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think it was sports, and then it was just inside of me. So that's what I meant, like playing sports. Waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning to train. Going to school. Then after school, you gotta be there till, let's say, 6 or 8 at practice. I've been working for about 6 years doing this constantly. I graduated. I said, I'm not working hard. I'm not picking up no heavy stuff. No, I'll do anything before I do that. And I think that's what, that's what I mean by like, no, working out actually changed my mindset of being like, yo, no, I'm a bust this paperwork out. Like it's weird to say it, or like you said, starting a business. I'm gonna bust this out instead of just going here and working a 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with that. I work a 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But instead of just, I'm gonna follow this person's plan, let me go make my own. Let me see if I can do this and push myself. But I don't know. I like working out. Like I said, it feels like it helps mentally. That's the one thing I feel like it helps so much mentally, because you're just pushing barriers. Like it's like, I can do this.
I can relate to what you said, because I played sports all my life, and the characteristics and the values, when you get a good coach, the things you learn, you carry for you in life.
For life.
I was a wrestler, and you're doing a lot of sacrificing. You're working out in 90-degree rooms, and you have to be very disciplined. And I learned a lot of what takes me through every single day. And I tell my son all the time, you need to work on your mental toughness. And they're like, well, I don't understand mental toughness. You it's not quitting, it's just keep going. You walk out on the mat, someone kicks your ass, and you know what? You work harder. You go in there, you work harder. And, I think now, because of that sports background, I work out every day, and I just mentally, I've been through some tough shit, and you just,
you ready to kick ass.
It's a challenge. Okay, I'll get over it. It's not that tough.
That's good that your coach motivated you, because with me, I didn't have that motivation.
It's tough. Yeah. So what do you do when you don't have that motivation? I
at the time, right now I could give an answer and be like, you just gotta stick through it, or trying to find a way that you can keep moving forward. At the time being, when I was trying to get into sports, I didn't really have that. He can testify this. He actually had the advantage when he started basketball. He was in middle school. I didn't try out for basketball till I was a freshman, and I failed miserably. I didn't make the team, and it kind of shattered my heart. My mother, she still encouraged me, well, try doing the sport and stuff. So I went out for tennis, and actually I was the king of the hill when I did it. But I'm telling you, I was okay. I'm not gonna act like I was all that. I was okay when it came to tennis, but I let outside people who didn't know, what I had in store for me, ruin that for me. When I did tennis, I remember being in school and I got made fun of because, tennis is a girl's sport. Not realizing tennis is a everybody sport, just like basketball is a everybody sport, just like bowling is a everybody sport. Even volleyball, they have men's volleyball. And at being a kid, I guess being teased by it, I was kind of like, man, I don't want nobody to think I'm a punk or I'm a sissy and stuff like that. And I didn't have nobody to just say, no, stick at it, stay strong, find you something that you really enjoy. I probably went to a couple, I didn't even do their tournaments or their games. I went to a couple practices. Once my friends was like, oh, you're weird, you're doing a girl sport, I left it alone.
But it's that, like he said, that mental toughness. That's where like some coaches come in at. Like no, bro, you have those values, or like it is just something different. And you can tell who has it and who doesn't. Because I've worked with people at regular 9 to 5 jobs. When something goes wrong, they just shut down completely. It could be something as simple as, say we were setting these cameras up, the light bulb just breaks. And we got plenty of light bulb. They just lose the marbles.
I knew it was going to go wrong. I knew something was going to go wrong. I can't do this anymore. Something else is going to happen.
Yep. I can't stand being around people like that.
Me neither.
And that's why I hate working at a 9 to 5. I hate it because it's like, I have to be around you. And you don't have the urge to be like, man, it's all right, man. It went wrong. Come on, let's go get another one. Let's figure out how. Let's get to the solution. Let's not focus on the problem.
Right.
We know the problem. We found it out. Let's get to the solution. I'm a solution-based guy.
Yeah.
So if you come to me with a problem, hey, Will, my transmission is messing up. All right. I'm not going to sit here and say, man, transmissions suck, man. Transmissions. Like, I'm not going to tell you about all these transmissions. No, let's get to the source. Let's focus all of our energy to the problem. If we focus that much, we be on the top of the world at this point, you know?
Yeah, when we used to, as kids, go crabbing off the bulkhead in Pennsville, we used to put the lines down and pull them up slowly. We catch the crabs and we put them in the bushel basket. Well, what would happen? You start to get crabs in there, and the one would try to, when it's claw up there and it's trying to pull itself out, and the other ones, what they're doing is they're grabbing that crab and pulling it back in. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's kind of like how it is in life. You're trying to get out, and you got to get away from those people that are pulling you down. You know, they're going to tell, oh, you can't do it, but they don't do anything for themselves.
Right.
But they're going to tell you that you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And that was my problem. See, I let my friends dictate how I should maneuver my life. Like, oh, I'm not going to do it because they think it's weird. It's a female sport. Not realizing it really is some talented male tennis players out there, you know, that do that thing. But
and it doesn't have to be sports. It could be band. It could be, I know, you know, kids that were in the band when I was in high school, they got made of because they're in the band. But, you know, they went through trials and tribulations to learn that instrument. Mm-hmm. You know, and now, I mean, so it doesn't matter if it's sports or whatever. It's finding that person that believes in you to get you through that tough time, to inspire you. You know, you can do it. You could be a great tennis player. Don't listen to those jokers.
Right.
They're not even playing tennis. You took that step. You're on the court, man.
Right.
Just a matter of time before you success. But you need to have that person, that coach, or that person from the outside, grandmom, whatever it is, to push you. Just keep pushing it.
Yep. I feel like. And like what I like with coaches, I got a quote from a coach that I say this to this day. It's a great day to be great. He used to say that every Saturday morning. We had to get there at 7 o'clock or like 8 o'clock in the morning after we just played Friday night. We just played. We there 7 o'clock back again. He used to come in. It's a great day to be great. It's a great day to be great. And I'm like, a great day to be, bro, it's too early. But getting older and listening to that quote and understanding it's a great day. And he explained it. It's a great day to win at this opportunity. It's a great. As soon as you wake up, you got a chance to win at this opportunity.
That is an awesome advice, because all you can control is right now in the present.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you did yesterday.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how you feel, and it doesn't matter what you want to do tomorrow. It's a great day to be great right now. So what do you need to do right now to be great?
To be great. Look, speaking of quote, I heard a quote that kind of stuck with me. It was a while back ago. I forget who said it, but to me it was funny because I'm like, if you wake up every day, that should be good enough motivation to really help you do something. The quote was, "Quit tomorrow."
That's right.
Every day
you quit tomorrow.
Every day you wake up, you ask yourself, "Quit tomorrow." And you know what that means? That don't mean quit today. That means whatever you got going on today, finish that shit today. But when you wake up tomorrow, quit tomorrow.
That's right.
But then but think about it. When you wake up tomorrow,
you gotta quit tomorrow.
You gotta quit tomorrow.
I heard this funny quote. It was, it takes 5 wipes to know it only took 4.
That's right.
I said, what? Like, what is he talking about? But
they're just that's just a little mindset. Like, just changing your mindset, that thing. When it's tough, I'm going to quit tomorrow. I'm not quitting today. I don't quit. I'm quitting tomorrow. I'm getting this shit done. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I'm going to do it. And it might not be perfect, but it's going to get done. I'll make it perfect tomorrow.
Right. And it's like every day you wake up, it just repeats. So you never get a chance to really actually do it. Yo. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, man, that's like, it's a good motivation, but all on high, because I'm like, people will look at it like, well, you're saying quit. No, I'm not saying quit. I'm saying do it tomorrow. And then when you wake up, you still don't quit. You still got that mindset of, okay, I'm going to wait till the next day to do it. Mm-hmm. But Chris, while we got you here, man, it was a lot of social media things going on, and one thing I happen to notice on social media is they're really getting on the WNBA about this certain thing. I want to ask, how much do you know about the WNBA before I ask this question?
I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
Because I'm just so busy and I'd rather put my time in other places. But I'm a sports guy. And Caitlin Clark, I like following her. You know, she's, she's really taken that leg for all the, animosity and stuff that goes. Like, I kind of don't understand that whole dynamic. Like, you've got a player, doesn't matter what color they are, it's making the league better. And it seems like a lot of people within the league are not really embracing it. But at the same time, Michael Jordan came in and they weren't embracing him. Bill Laimbeer and the Detroit Pistons, they're beating the crap out of him, right? They didn't accept him. And he just started to transcend by what he was doing. And I think that's where it would get to for her. But I tell you, I really like watching the league. It's competitive, they can play some ball,
yeah.
It's a different game than if you're looking at it and you're expecting to see the guys game, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you're looking at it from a basketball just perspective and how she's shooting threes that are farther out than NBA threes, and
she's amazing.
And everybody else, there's so much more talent. And I think for myself that now that I'm watching because of her, I now realize all the other girls in the league and how much talented. I mean, there's a lot of good girls as good as her out there.
Right. And they probably just didn't get the light that they deserved.
But yeah, you told me about. I didn't know what the heck was going on when you're like dildos on the court. What the hell are you talking about? What? Who's selling dildos? Is it one team or what? What's going on?
So as far as what I've known now, this has happened 4 times. I can't remember the last time. Like, I don't want to make a joke about it, but I can't remember the last time we have watched an NBA game and a coochie was thrown, a freaking sex toy doll was thrown at a game and stuff like that. So it had me pretty concerned, like, why all of a sudden that we're making it this thing. But if you guys don't know out there, the WNBA games, some of them, not all of them, they have been throwing dildos out on the basketball court live on TV on the actual game, not even on practice or while they're in the locker room, like, here, pow, and then just walk off. You know what I mean? So it had me concerned because I'm going, well, first of all, we hype up the NBA. And like I said, we've never, like, nobody has ever went to the sex store and been like, man, I'm going to throw this little coochie doll on the NBA so LeBron can see it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But we've done it to the NBA, and it's like, I wanted to know, why has it happened? In my opinion, I could be wrong, but what this generation has done with all this OnlyFans going on and all this mentality of we should raise our woman to be like that, they have made it acceptable and funny for some stuff that happened like that. Because I'm still going 4 times. Why is this happening 4 times? Yet again, the NBA game, you've never once watched the NBA game in a half bottom coochie set just thrown, just bam.
He said
right.
Coochie set.
I don't know what they call them. I don't buy sex toys.
The coochie set.
I know that was Coochie set.
So
But you know what? When this happened was a pivotal time, right? So this happened after the WNBA All-Star game. When the WNBA All-Star game, all the players wore "We deserve better pay" or something like that.
Right.
There was a pay discrepancy, and they're wondering why they aren't making enough money or making as much as the NBA. People have tried to break this down to Shaq's broke this down to Angel Reese, to some of the Chicago Sky players, some of the Valley Sparks. People are trying to explain this to them. You guys just don't have enough support, and they're wondering why. We can go.
They're not helping themselves, right?
Right.
In public perception, they're just not helping themselves.
We can go and find 5 random females and ask them to name 3 WNBA teams.
I love this. I know. I love what you're getting ready to say.
I guarantee you they're not. We're screwed. We can go find 3 males and ask them, name 3 NBA teams. They don't even have to watch basketball. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
So the visibility and the support of, I would say, you could say same sex, but I'm not going to try to go there, but they're just not doing it.
They're not supporting themselves, right? So
Right.
It's a women's league, but when you look at attendance, how many women are going to purchase the tickets to
go.
make that a relevant league.
Right.
Right. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say that I'm discriminated against, and you got to support. You got to have women support your league and men support your league. And that's how the NBA became the NBA. But it's hard to, I could walk in right here and say, you know what? I have a dispensary. It's 2 weeks old. I want to make $1 million. I deserve $1 million right now. No, I don't deserve $1 million right now because my business isn't producing that right now. Yeah. I've got to, there's people in the NBA that didn't make hardly any money in the early days. Right? NBA, WNBA, that's what you have to do right now. You got to build your base.
Right.
Got to get there. And I think people, perception-wise, are like, and they haven't earned it. You're just walking in the league from college and you want millions of dollars because now you're just a woman playing basketball?
Mm-hmm. And that's what some of the former WNBA players are telling them. Now they have NIL deals, right, in college. And they're telling some of these women that are coming from college, we didn't have that. So y'all coming in here thinking y'all supposed to be getting all this. You're supposed to be getting all this money. And that's not the case here. We don't have the support as what you thought over here. And it's not going to come overnight. This is going to probably take another 10 years, right? Yeah. It's going to take they're not going to instantly turn over. The NBA is supporting the WNBA. Without the NBA, the WNBA doesn't exist, hands down. They lose money every year. This is a fact. They are profitless because like he said, nobody's buying their tickets. And
if they don't come together as a group and move together, move in the right direction together, that league is never going to get to where they think they deserve to be.
Yep.
You can't have people saying that, because the working person that's paying money to put in that ticket and you're saying I deserve millions of dollars. Come on.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm not saying
it doesn't come easy.
And we all not saying they're not great players, right?
Right.
He just said Caitlin Clark killing it, changing the game. Every player is great. They are great, but it's like, bro.
You think there's jealousy within the girls, right? It's like you got and you can take anybody, whether it's Caitlin Clark or anybody, but comes in and they get a big deal with Nike. It's like, shouldn't they? It seems like they're not really supporting them. They're like, why isn't it me?
Right.
You're discriminating against me.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not a LeBron fan, I'm a Michael Jordan fan. But you know what? LeBron he deserves to make every dollar he puts in just as hard to work as Michael Jordan did and everything, right? He deserves to make that money. Is everybody putting in the money putting in the time and selling their brand? They're selling themselves. They have that it. People want to come and invest into that. Michael Jordan didn't go out and try to attract these people because of what he did on the court and all that hard work. Those companies said, I want to invest in that. I want them to represent me. But if you're a crybaby worrying about your money, what company is going to want to invest in you?
Right.
Are they going to want to give you a sponsorship and represent their company?
No. Heck no.
No. Come on. It's simple.
And it just...
So much potential. So much potential.
They'll learn. It's gonna suck because they're not gonna see the profit. They're not gonna see it. I'm gonna just be real. I don't think they're gonna see it. It's not gonna be their generation. It's gonna start with the next generation. I would say in the next 5 years, but it's not a generation. But next 10 years, and then by then they'll start seeing the money if they start being a little bit more entertaining. It sucks to say it. Change y'all jerseys. What y'all need to do is not wear jerseys. Stop trying to follow the NBA rules. You guys are women. Use that. Use it. I'm sorry. I would use it. Use it and just, it's going to sell. It's going to sell. But it sucks to say it, but that's what it is.
Philly get a team on the expansion? I think Philly's getting a team. Is
they
that
get
true?
a WNBA team?
I thought they had 4 teams. I thought Philly was one of the expansion.
I think you might be right.
In my opinion, man, if they come out at Philly and they do it right and those girls do it right and they have the right mentality just with the Philadelphia fan base, I think they can go in there and get a good crowd in there. Yeah.
Philly do not
really
play
get
about
around
their
them. They don't care if it's boy or girl, man. You got that grit, you got that fight, you got that Philadelphia. They'll support you.
Right.
Any sport.
Now, You know what job I wouldn't want to be?
What?
Is a dog whisperer or animal whisperer. I was watching this. The reason I got this down is because I was watching this clip. I don't know if y'all know this guy. He's a dog whisperer, and the dogs was just fighting each other. And he just like, shut up, and just grabbed the dog by the like fur and stuff. And the dog, I was like, no, man, you got to be a ballsy somebody to go into the lion's den. And they're not lions, they're dogs, obviously. But just to stick your hand out a dog and just grab him by the neck and just, no, you can't do this. And just not have him bite you, I would be scared. I don't know about y'all, but I would be scared as all hell.
So did the dog stop after he grabbed?
No, he stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's because they're not scared, because dogs work on the alpha mentality.
And that's what he was saying.
Right? They know, you go in there and you're the alpha, they're like, shit, okay, I'm listening to him. Right. If you're going to go in there and like, I'm a little scared, I don't know what to do, they're going to be like, screw you, man, I'm taking advantage of you.
Yeah, no, you want to know a funny story about a dog? When I first met you, the first day I walked up, I was parked on that side, and somebody had a Jeep, and there was a big ass dog in the back of their Jeep. And I was walking, and I looked, and me and the dog locked eyes, and it instantly knew, you's a punk. In my eye, like,
that's right.
it started growling. I said, oh, and I started running. That's why I ran up in here. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm here. They was like, hey, you want to look at our brands? And I'm like, yeah. You don't know, my heart is just beating. I was about to get attacked by this dog. So I mean, I understand that alpha, like, they really do sense that.
It's amazing when you watch those videos, though, right? I mean, they just go right in, and then they own that dog. And then next thing you know, that owner that had that dog for 10 years, and it's like all over the place. All of a sudden, it's just...
right, just chilling, like nothing ever. I was like, what? I said, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that job. But still, like, he just changed the whole... I'm talking about rapid dog. Dog was ready to kill anything to a whole just normal
It's
dog.
more about training the owner than training the dog.
And
you train the owner, the dog will be trained.
Because the owners be like so shocked, and he be like, no, this is how you have to treat this dog, this and that. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I wouldn't. It's the mentality, the mindset, like we were saying earlier. It's all about mindset with stuff.
I'm glad you didn't. I don't mess with nobody's dog that can stand taller than me. If your dog look like he stand on his back 2 feet and he can stand taller than no, I need one of them short dogs so that way I know I can outrun you or something. Anything happen. But yeah,
I see you got, when you have a date over, you want them to make them. Wait, say that. Say that over.
All right. So another question that I have down that we could talk on this podcast, let me explain it. There was a video that I seen, and just depending on what type of people you are and stuff like that, usually when you go out on a date, you bring the girl over, the night ends off well. Are you the type of person that after everything is said and done, after everything is going good, do you make the person leave? I wonder, should I just say it straightforward? Should I be straightforward? Okay, after you guys have sex, make love one another, are you the type of person that, it's code that after that the woman shall leave and I can have my personal space? Or are you comfortable with after you have sex, like, oh no, you could stay and cuddle and all that type of, things? I had this question down because I was watching another podcast and they was like, man, women don't be knowing that, I want you to leave. I just came over, or let you come over so I can smash and dip. And I don't think we have that talked about enough, because I'm the type of person, if I invite you over or have a date with you, I want you to stay as long as possible. Some people be having kids or work in the morning and stuff like that. But even whatever works on your schedule, I like for you to stay and cuddle and hold, where some people feel like, nah, I want you to go. I want you to go. So I just wanted to ask y'all, if y'all have a date night, do y'all make them stay or do y'all make them leave?
I'll let you go with this one first.
I'd like them to stay, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I like rolling like that. I don't know. I think it makes you feel like, the person's into you. It makes you feel good. And I think if I just sent the girl home, just how I was brought up, I'd feel like I was disrespecting the person, being mean. I don't want to be mean to anybody.
Right.
Even if I don't like
awkward, right?
Even if I just wanted to smash and then that was it, spend the night, they leave. And even if the next day, hey, it was great that night, but I don't know if we're connecting, at least that person leaves on a positive note. No, he is a good guy, even though it didn't work out. I don't know. That's kind of like probably how I would play it.
Right.
Yeah. See, I'll probably do something like that. But I would say this all depends on what type of, like you said, the connection. How is this? How the day went? Did we link up at like say 12 p.m.? We linked up at 12 p.m. We've been out all day, right?
Right.
Yeah,
We've been chilling. We done went to the movies. We went got something to eat. Then we went to the bar later that night. Then you come over, right? Do I let you stay? At that point, you've been with me all day. You might as well spend the night. Now, if you come over past 8:30, you got to go. I mean, you don't gotta go, but I would say, yeah, you don't have to leave. But I would see people leaning towards you was just a smash. But I would let that person know. If you didn't let that person know, you kind of an asshole.
But isn't it true that the girl might actually be like, look, I'm just going and I'm leaving.
Right.
And
True.
So I guess on the communication that you have with her and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like a feel. I mean, I've had situations where, they come in and they leave, and you kind of know that maybe sometimes going in, like you said, it's late at night and we both know what we want.
Right.
We're not going to play no games. We going to skip all the games and we get straight to it. Like, yeah, no, bro. Like, you're leaving after this, right?
Yeah, you don't feel bad.
You don't feel bad. So that's what I'm saying. It all depends on the setup of everything.
It is the setup. Maybe I'm just a weird person. I feel like if you come over and you with me, but me, I like to cuddle. That's my thing. Well, I'm after. You know what I'm saying? If it's beforehand, I'm like, listen, I'm getting started. You kind of tempted me and all that. But I'm the type of person, hey, if I'm with you, even if it wasn't a date night, if you came over late at night and you wanted to spend time with me, shorty, I don't want you to go. I'm going to be here by myself watching Netflix all lonely. Like, I want you to come stay. Where some people will feel like, nah, I just want to smash and kick it. But yet again, it's all on the situation. You could be on some, hey, it's 8 o'clock at night. I work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's just do our thing so that way I can get our sleep and stuff like that. But
hit you up in the morning, hit you up tomorrow, and we can go from there and see if it goes anywhere.
Right.
Where do you think the younger generation falls right now?
In
general, do you think they're more hit it and leave, or do you think
I don't think they get none at all. Honestly, they are lost cause. But honestly, I think they are more of a hit it and leave. I would say hit and leave. They hit and run. They hit and run. They not. It's too much TikTok and oh yeah, watch me dance, baby. Nah, it's too much. The people got too much stuff going on. I think I don't know. The younger generation, I pray for them. Like, I pray for them for everything because I'm like, man, I see what my parents were saying where I didn't grow up with all this social media. I didn't grow up with this, right? So I feel like the connections were a little bit more genuine.
Yeah. I think what you brought up about the WNBA and the dildos too is that with the social media world and the TikTok and the viral stuff, the person throwing it out probably has reason they thought about. At the same time, hey, I'm the one that threw that out. Look, it's on ESPN, it's on here, it's on that, it's on TikTok.
Clip farming is
So I wanted to bring that up. So how you brought up the younger generation, this is why I blame, it's not particularly OnlyFans, but this is why I blame the spirit of OnlyFans. We have made it acceptable for something like that to happen, and everybody's going to, because that's another point I was going to bring up. If they were doing that to try to draw attention to the WNBA, it kind of did, but didn't nobody watch the game. They watched it in the sense of, oh my God, I can't believe that, so it might have brought the ratings up or something. And then you don't know if stuff can stage, because we do have things as, what's they called? Not like a stage.
It's all set up.
Yeah, it's
smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, so maybe it was a setup, but I'm upset of the fact that everybody, not that they thought it was acceptable, but I feel like people thought it was acceptable. Like, oh, let's highlight this and show the social media so we can bring our ratings up. Maybe draw attention to the WNBA. If you thought to yourself that was going to make me watch the WNBA more because y'all throwing green dildos or black dildos or whatever color dildos it wasn't. I thought it was a stupid tactic. I think it's pure ignorance, and it's a shame that we have gotten that low of a bar. Like, I don't know, throw some gushers out there on them. Hit them on the back of the head. That would make me watch the WNBA. When you throw a dildo out there, it's kind of like, come on, man. Be mature. Be for real. I don't know. I was just
Well, the way I look at it also is, what is the WNBA doing? You know, it should be that person was identified through video. That person does not come back. They get a big fine. Something happens. And that's what should be told, that you do this. This is what happens. You're banned. You get a fine, or you get prosecuted legally, whatever that is, and make an example of these people. But if you condone it and let that happen once, it's going to happen again, and nothing's happening to them, and it's going viral, and their shit's, you know, going on TV. You got to stand up. You got to say, no, this is unacceptable.
Right. Yeah. Four times it has happened. I can't stop people in their actions. You know, and I feel like a hypocrite, because how is it the WNBA got something like that, but you probably watched or probably seen? Or
what if that happened in the NFL?
Yeah, now
they're carrying you out, right?
But we can say that kind of happened, right?
No, because streaking. That's what I was
Yeah,
going to bring up.
that's
People
it.
are streaking.
That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, but they prevented that. Like, but they've done the precaution, like you said. Like, okay, we catch the person that's streaking, they're banned, they go to jail, they get a hefty fine. So it's like, but people were betting on that at the Super Bowl, right? Like, people were betting, like, hey, I'll bet $500 that there is going to be a streaker at the, halftime. I bet $500 that it's not, you know? So it's like, it's kind of funny with that. Like, that's became I feel like a commodity, or like a joke, a running joke. But at the same time, with the women, I feel like, damn, that's kind of a left turn, right? It would have been funnier if they'd have picked it up and started doing something with it. That's what they should have, instead of kicking it. Because I seen where she kicked it off the court. No, she should have got up and been like, yeah.
Well, and if you don't stop it as the NBA, now it's like, what are they going to do next? Because, you know, they're thinking about, okay, well, that's kind of normalized. They threw dildos out. Well, what's the next thing we're throwing out to get more attention? Because you said it's now acceptable to get attention and to do something wrong.
Right.
That's where I think you got to stop it.
But look, speaking of betting, this is just funny to me. I just had to let you know this. Did you know you could bet on what color Gatorade they'll pour on their coach on a Super Bowl? Probably you could do it on a regular game. But I was on DraftKings, and I remember when the Super Bowl was happening. I was looking through their options. They actually have an option that you can bet what color of Gatorade they're going to have. I just thought that was interesting.
And he kept saying that all night.
Well, that's such an incredible, like, new industry that's never evolved right now. Now you got in-game booking, betting, but it's all things even outside of the game. The points, the rebounds, everything. Right. They're just like, I feel sometimes, you know, it's kind of like hypocritical. Well, you can't bet in sports, but now all the networks, ESPN, who are their biggest sponsors? Sports betting.
Yep.
Right. It's crazy. And I don't know. I don't know where I kind of fall in that. I think, you know, if you want to bet, you want to bet. But sometimes I feel like you're kind of preying on people also, that it's just right here. I mean, it's so easy to bet in game and just do stuff. And
I done made a couple parlays. Nuts. I ain't going to lie. I done hit a couple parlays. I done lost some, but I done hit a lot.
I have an interesting question, and we should have asked this earlier when we were stuck on business. But this new world that we're entering, as far as AI, it's two questions I want to ask. What is your opinion as far as what you know about AI, and do you plan on using AI as part of your business?
Yeah, it's just, man, that's a rabbit hole in that subject. AI, man, it's crazy. I use it every day. Use AI every day. And it's going to eliminate jobs, definitely. I mean, just in marketing and a lawyer, I mean, it could just go and get so much information out there. I mean, whenever we're going to implement something, it knows you. Like, it knows my dispensary. We already loaded everything and knows. So whenever we're talking, it knows everything.
Everything.
And you're training like these bots. And it's like, it's so hard to fathom. Like, we know what it's doing right now, but where is it going to go? I don't know if anybody really knows. I mean, I don't think we're too far from having the Tesla robots and everything on the market. Right. I mean, that's just...
Would you ever have a Tesla robot working at the store?
Yeah, I said once it comes out, we're buying one. We're buying one. We're going to have one walking around, be our mascot or something. But it's like growing up, watching Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that. Right. It's scary to think, and I don't know if anybody. It's like pretty cool right now, but where's it going to be in 20 years? Is kind of scary, right? For your kids and stuff.
That's what I'm thinking of. Like, it's like, no.
Where does it stop? Where is it regulated somehow? How is it regulated?
Right.
What are we willing to accept and willing not to accept? There's a lot of moral questions that you put a lot of faith in government to come up with, and that within itself is a little scary.
I would hate with people using. I saw people using AI to make like fake calls. You know, like calling somebody and be like, it's say if it was your sister, right, or like our sister, right?
Right.
They got the same voice, and then being like, hey, I need you to open a door, or hey, can you send me some money at this number? And people are doing it, and people are getting scammed. And I said, yo, that is scary, because those calls are now being made to the police. And I never thought about that. I was like, yo, people are actually doing this, and it's like, it's actually working. And I said, dang, you guys are scamming with AI voices and like AI text messages or just anything, pictures, and making money. That this can get really dangerous.
I don't think the average person can really tell if it's an AI video or if it's a real video. It's gotten so good.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and when you start thinking about people getting their news online and propaganda online and stuff, how do you verify if it was AI driven or if it was really driven?
Yeah, true.
It's scary. There's so many levels to it that it's kind of scary to think where it could go, but it also to think of all the things that it can do for you at the same time is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and I saw another video where this guy, I forget what his name was. I wish I would have wrote this down, but he was talking about the growth and the expansion of AI and how he believes, like you said, a lot of jobs are going to be obsolete. We are now running into the time, like he was like, now is the time to start praying. He said we are past the point of returning. He said we are past the point of trying to save ourselves. Like the technology is advanced so well that it can start advancing itself. So he's like, start preparing for the end, not like the end of the world, but like prepare for, lots of loss of jobs, lots of loss of people because of this technology.
It's like you got to I think we're at a stage where the world has to figure out how you reinvent yourself. But at the same time, I mean, there's people in this world that don't even have clean water. Mm-hmm. They don't even have food.
Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere. There's countries that it's like, how in this day and age that that happens. Even in the United States, people don't have a place to live. And we're talking about AI replacing people's jobs that are working to make a living. It's, I don't know, a lot of
that's
scary
crazy
things we're going to go through.
We got a minute left. You want to say anything else?
Nah, that's all the questions I had.
Well, I want y'all to take a great look at this guy right here again. Okay. This is Chris Wilson,
the one and only
Chris Wilson.
And look, man, I put my pants on just like you, man. It's just got a little more experience, a little more wisdom, but I firmly believe you guys are going to get there. You're on the right path, and you're associating yourselves with some good people that are going to help you raise you up. It's just a matter of time.
Thank you. Come down to the Frosted Nug at in Carneys Point, New Jersey, to come get your premium quality cannabis. They have disposables. They have, I want to say, vapor carts. They got gummies. They got edibles. They got everything you need as a stoner. Everything you need.
Everything. Come down here.
And tell them the people from the Just Say It podcast sent you. And they might give you a sticker.
Yeah.
They might. And if your breath hot, they might give you a mint. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for opening the room to us. Thank you. You have no idea.
Idea.
Thank you.
Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you, like, from the bottom of our hearts, man. The Just Say It podcast, I hope we can grow just like this business is growing.
You are going to grow. Yeah. Not you hope you can grow. You are going to grow.
I like that. See, that mindset. See, I didn't have that mindset growing up.
Vocabulary. You're talking to yourself all the time. You're talking to your mind all the time. Right. You're telling your mind what you want.
That mindset is why I didn't stay on the tennis team.
But thank y'all, and we out. We out of here. Thanks.
All right, thank you. You said I am your host, Warren Sox,
and I am your co-host, DJ Blood Money.
And thank you for tuning in to the Just Say It podcast. We out.
Dude, you guys are naturals. You guys are going to do great. Honestly, you're going to do great.
Thank you.
Man, it was a
Nah,
pleasure.
Thank you.
You guys are going to do great. And you just keep doing this like this, and you get all these clips, and then people start, hey, man, you see those guys? Oh, man.